Well, aloha guys. This is JRTV Hawaii in search of a great marriage, new ideas, and subsequently easyworldpeace.com. I'm excited to review a little preview of my newest website. It's going to be coming up. It's called smartlylove.com. The implication being, we have to love with a sense of care and intellect and a scientific skepticism, one that allows for the truth of who we are, and so that we can enjoy authenticity, the authenticity of how we relate to self, to spouse, and beyond, and in such a way that the word love, which implies a commitment, to mutually shared values, that word actually turns into something that we can use and not just overuse or misuse, so that it becomes it loses its value. For me, it's like when people are committed to one another and they're committed to, stuff that is beyond just their physical limitations of their body, how much money they can, generate, how much levels of health and intelligence and attractiveness they can create with genetics and all of that. I just have this idea that, you want to create the sensation of love together, which is just connectedness, but you don't want it to be superficial or short-term where you, quote unquote, want to connect to somebody, but, and say that you love them and feel that nice sensation, and then it just dematerializes at some point. Over time, societies have kind of defined love as an expectation, an obligation to certain people. Whether you're married, whether you're biologically related, whether you're, happen to be, related by marriage or whatever it is, that you're kind of expected to tolerate one another, or maybe even love of being of the same ethnicity or maybe culture, and that creates problems because although it is nice to experience one's different culture and maybe identify with it, I think it's strategic to more so identify with yourself, not and as your final authority. Like labeling nobody shall we say, like a parent, or this person's like so cool, or like a doctor. Like you're hiring somebody as a doctor, as a psychologist, as an attorney, as an accountant. They're not like the end all. Like you, and this comes in tangent with intelligence. The more people learn and the more they pick up, knowledge, the more they can define their own lives and create their own lives and know what's good for them, know how to do research to find answers instead of relying on experts. And although experts are nice and it's great to hire them, you should at least know what to expect and what they should do, what you should do for each other. And so this is love towards yourself. It's not putting yourself in a position to be taken advantage of, or just somebody to take away your love. Like some people have that sort of expectation when they try to mingle the personal and professional lives. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to transcend that into a realm of where we're experiencing this truth. We're experiencing let's just say, this is my own definition of it. And, just because somebody, even stuff like, not just biological relation, but share, let's say you just appreciate one another, you're nice. That should be a base level standard in society. We should all have the idea that we, are to be decent professional individuals. And like I was saying, some people try to leverage the fact that they're around each other, that somehow that obligates them to love or care for each other if they're in a work setting. But in reality, in professionalism, you shouldn't say stuff like you love someone or you're like a brother or sister, or you care, because the truth is you work together, you're professional, and in your time beyond that, related to stuff. See, here's the thing: when people base this whole idea of love upon where they have their source of income or source of just sustaining their existence, like the whole idea of people, the whole idea of people, what do? They say they love each other, but it's a codependency. It's not a genuine voluntary love. Real love has to be a choice. It has to be of one's own volition and not under duress or any need from another person. So, for example, I don't think a child can love a parent until that child is older and is able to sustain their own existence, pay their own bills, and consequently, they can make a choice that, hey, even I don't need you, but I still want to be around you, and not under the auspices of parent or authority, but rather under the auspices of equal friend, buddy, even spiritual brother or sister, as opposed to parent. Because parent, you shouldn't have a parent forever. You should be old enough to a certain point where you can operate under your own, look out for yourself. You know how to, and yes, it's nice to have quote unquote guardians, people looking out for you, but to just label somebody parent, it just gives away your mental power. And I think this is a primary cause for there being problems in the world. Like, for instance, I subconsciously took out resentment towards other people, especially women, because because of this, and men equally, because of this quote unquote love of parents, which isn't really a love. It's really it can be a satisfying feeling, but it's not a true feeling of authentic authentic caring. What it is, in fact, is a feeling of control and dominance and submission. Like, people submit to, and so all of that, it's a feeling of, it's satisfying, but only in a sense of like, what do you call it? Like a sadistic sense, or So getting to the point here, and then self-love, like really identifying what you love, and not just and loving you, and not just like hoping people will like you, or hoping that you'll end up with a spouse, but knowing what you want, just finding it, stating it, saying, this is who I am, this is who my spouse is, and that's it. And then at some point, it's where you know yourself. So love and knowledge are closely associated. You can't love something without an understanding of it, so yeah. Again, my encouragement is to be aware of the phenomenon that occurs when people misuse the word love and use it carefully. And sometimes you're under duress. You have to placate, tolerate people, tell them I love you. But when you have a choice, when you are financially independent, and you have a choice, you need to give people ultimatums. Say, I don't just love random people. I love people because we have mutual values and interests. So again, smartlylove.com. It's a site that's coming up soon. Aloha.